Hi there, my name is John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer or the kids' room or the garage. You know how we've been doing it. I am so glad you are here, and thank you for your partnership in this ministry. If you haven't had a chance to like the video or subscribe to the YouTube channel, I would love it if you would do that. Also, someone pointed out to me another way to financially support the Dollar Store Children's Sermon, and that link is on the blog and also in the comments of the video, and that is Buy Me a Coffee. And there's a page that you can buy me a cup of coffee. It helps. Anything helps. $1, $5, $25, $150, you know. Anyway, thank you so much for your partnership, for your watching this, for just taking part. And like I've said, I say it on my support page, but it's always free. Donations are not required. They're always appreciated. But thank you for getting the good work and the good word out there to your kids and your families. So here we go. Let's move on into the Dollar Store Children's Sermon. We are looking at the gospel lesson and the first reading, two springboards to work with. This is for the fifth Sunday of Easter, and they will know you are. They will know you are Christians by your love. Yes, by your love. They will know we are Christians by our love. I love that song. That campfire song that I remember as a kid, which by the time I sang it, it had already been around forever. So, but it's just a wonderful song. So, the question is, so what's the springboard? On this, there's a game that either charades or the game Who Am I, where you put on the back of, you have a 3x5 card with a name on it, or a picture, but a name, and it gets put on your back, or it gets put onto a person's back, and the person sees the name and they ask you questions about, they don't ask you questions, they tell you stuff about your character, or you ask them questions, and the idea is that you need to guess who you are. And so you can play this game, and you can play this game to where either you have a kid who plays it, or you have someone in your church put a character on your back, and it could be that character is Jesus. And it's all about love. They will know you are Christians by your love. And so that playing around love, and that you can also work a regular riddle and talk about, who am I? And there's riddles out there that, like one about a glove, and it's you could look up a kid's riddle about a glove, and it'll tell you all about that. And you can talk about that. So what am I? And you read those off. And then after that, you can say, okay, here's another riddle. Who am I, or what am I? And list ways that you love the neighbor. And it's all about love. And, well, I'm a follower of Christ. I'm a lover of Jesus. So there's that. Those who am I and riddles and the game. So there's that. The other is looking at the first reading, which is out of Acts, and it's the vision of Peter having that dream where God lowers the unclean animals and says, get up and eat. And Peter says, I can't eat because those are unclean. And God says, what I say is clean is clean. And it's this God expanding the circle of grace, or so that we can see the circle of grace expanding, that God's love overflows on everybody. And so this is a way of Peter saying, the Gentiles, the non-Jewish folks, the Gentiles belong to this promise as well. So the springboard on that is, I'd have a link on the blog, that is a way to walk through a sheet of paper. And it's the directions are really simple to follow. It's actually harder for me to explain it than just to say, follow this link, and you will get a template where you can print it out and cut where it has you cut. So you've got the piece of paper, and then you can either cut at the time of the children's sermon or have one pre-cut. If you practice a couple of times, it's actually fairly easy to cut out, but you might want to have one already prepared, so if you accidentally cut through something and you go, but I've got this one here, and you can show that. And it's really neat because it's a regular 8.5 by 11 paper, but the way you cut it, you can pull and expand it, and you can actually step through the piece of paper. I've used this before in previous children's sermons, so you might be familiar with it. It's still a great way, even if you've used it, it's a great way to look at and expand how one would understand God's grace. So, those are the 2 springboards that I have for you. Hope they can be useful for your own children's sermon. Thank you so much for your partnership in this ministry. And if your congregation forgets to tell you, let me tell you, you are rocking it. So, thank you, and thank you for your work that you're doing in your congregation and for the bettering of your community. So, all right, we will see you next week. Peace.